Oh, greetings, my friend. I come back to make this second part, for I took some notes and I wanted to discuss a few ideas, like what resonates with you. Lifetime after lifetime, we are given ever increasing level of mission, and our mission is becoming more important every time because when we live in incarnation, we always pick it up where we left off, and so we are given much more responsibility and opportunity. We voluntarily created those limitations. To accept, to surrender our eternal and infinite consciousness in order to re-experience the return to ourselves, to unlimited forms and energy. For we all depends where we are at. Of course, we're all different, and so just follow whatever's right for you. I'm just expressing what's right for me. And we're seeking to create this opening to this unlimited energy now, to surrender to our God self. And so for that will definitely create the more we do that, the faster we'll be able to find this point of freedom. I'm going to pull a few cards. The highest wisdom is in the past is the destiny, where the destiny is anchored, it's predestined. Our destiny is predestined, and yet we're writing it every day. What we are now is temperance, is the ability to be temperate, to allow our lighter part to be dominant over our darker part. We have to ascend the past, present, future, the dark and the light. But we have to learn to not be extreme or go in judgment of others or ourselves. And the future is the judgment will come from heaven. God knows things, so trust your Creator. Everything will be made right. What we're working on now is accomplishment, the fulfillment of the cycle, and the future is joy, for there will be great joy in the process. For we're going to come into the contact with many extraterrestrials. Some people do not even believe in that, but there are countless. Everything is alive in the universe, and there are countless civilizations. I just wanted to say that the most advanced civilization I've encountered in this part of space are the Alpha Centaurians. They're not very implicated into the lower realm like what we're going through, but they're working from within. They're working on the cosmic, on the celestial, on the universal level, and they're very, very advanced. They're the scientists of the most advanced scientific that I've ever encountered. I really like this place. It's one of my favorite places in this part of the galaxy, in this cosmos. But and there is another group that's working, that we're much more implicated with the Earth process right now. It's the Arcturians. The Arcturians are advanced beings. They're the guardians of the fifth dimension, although they exist on a much higher level, and they also have fourth and third dimension Arcturians on their system. And they have this beautiful ship. Their most beautiful ship is stationed here now. It's been here for a while. It's called the Athena. It's in the name of the goddess Athena. And it's not huge as the New Jerusalem or the Phoenix, the Alpha Centaurian ships, or some of the Mars ships that are as big as planets. This is not big, but it's magnificent, and it's very brilliant, and you're welcome to visit it in meditation, or ask to go there in your dreams. Many years ago, I read this book. It's very interesting if you want to read it. It's called We the Arcturians. I forgot the author. It was in the 90s, early 90s. And when you read it, they explain to you, they're observing you through in the screen to see your reaction to the information, and then they detail all their ships. And so, but while I was doing that, I used the opportunity and I projected my consciousness there. So I had all kinds of experiences while I was going there. And so the Arcturians are very, very present. There was a spirit that came through channel. Her name was Xylenia. She was talking about the med beds. They will soon become available on the material planes, and that will change everything in terms of health. For now, they are available in the light city, in the inner planes, or on the ships, and you can ask to go there in your dreams. The med beds were in about 1 hour. They're like violet pod of crystals, but they will be material here on the physical planes, and but in they're like divine technology that restore our pure and the highest DNA that we have. It's like we in 1 hour everybody will become young, 35 years old, will become free of all prostheses or illness, free of habits, free of negative habits, free of negative memory that plague them. So it's going to be very important, and when we'll be physically going through this process, we're going to come out of it lighter and taller. We'll have to change our wardrobe, but but for now we can already ask to visit those planes during our sleep. And so we need to continue to be attuned to our flow, to our momentum, to the flow of the soul within us, and we don't have to move to do that. It's a flow, and we want to surrender to the process, get with the program. For there is a lot of flows within us. Sometimes we have negative habits, that's habitual sorts, that have a lot of flow, so we need to slow them down and to activate other flows. For we need to ground ourselves within our heart and to grow moment by moment, see what does life has to offer for us in each and every day, not to speculate too much, to take life as it comes, and move from the negative ego to the Christ consciousness. The Christ consciousness is implicated in the supremacy, the true, the good, the beautiful. Eventually we'll go into ultimacy and absoluteness, but for now we need to master that time and space principle, and the Christ consciousness is the highest model for that, the bridge between heaven and earth. And we all have that particle of divine consciousness within ourselves. For true change that we seek to happen on the planet will change when the economic system will be changed, and we move from a fiat system of money to a money that's gold back guaranteed, so it's like real money. So but the true change is not a date or an event. It is a process. It is a movement of consciousness. So just know it's been happening. It is happening now, and it will continue to happen. Just follow the flow, and it's okay to hold on and to go back to old cycle and to old comfort zone without having guilt about it. Just know that little by little you're finding little improvement until you won't find the need to go back to this old cycle. I'm going to pull a few more cards. And for the unified field technology is very powerful. It is the ability to return to the one, to connect to the law of one, and it's the communication with our higher self. It's to be heart-centered, to realize we're not a body but a consciousness, and to connect to the pulse of our heart and our breath, and to invoke the divinity within us. And then from there we are assisting the world from within, for the highest wisdom is here and now. It is here and now that it is happening. What we need to understand is a step ahead. As soon as the more we realize and connect internally, the more we have steps ahead. We can receive messages from a higher self. What we need to do is the never-ending story. It is letting go of all the dramas, and the outcome is the miracle, the blessings, the amazing. It's an amazing change that is getting ready, that is in the works. It's going to come down all of a sudden. For we need to think before we act. That's very important. For there is Epiméthée and Prométhée, those two gods. Epiméthée was acting before he spoke, before he thought, and so Prométhée had to always come to fix up his mistakes. He was one who think before he acts. So just think before you act. And because eventually we're going to need to correct all of the wrongdoings that we have ever had. As consciousness grows, all our mistakes will be brought back into our consciousness to see if we learn the lesson. Are we capable to forgive ourselves, to let go of blame and judgment with ourselves or others? So it's like the completion of karma. And I'm going to continue to talk here. Sometimes it's better to stay silent. We don't need to talk. But Spirit is saying me that my messages are assisting nevertheless. And so I'm going to talk as long as I'm called to do that. And I thank you for listening, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and for your donations. If you want a private session, you can send me an email. I'm not allowed to talk about my mistake, not my mistakes, but about my problems. And you shouldn't be as well. Do not talk about your problems. Just give them to God. God wants to allow God to do things for you, to resolve those mistakes. It is a waiting that you ask him to solve all those problems. So and letting go of all the messages that are polarized and they really us against them. They've created all that so that the good guys, the bad guys, the dark, the light, so that we miss the unified field of love. And so we want to everybody's at everybody's throats. It's like, so just let go of all those messages. So we want to move into self-acceptation eventually, to self-satisfaction within now. The more we are in self-satisfaction, the faster the flow will accelerate. And for there is one God, and everything is God, and everything is one. So we understand that intellectually. Yet there is this relationship with God, and you're in the heart of God, and God is in your heart. And there is this meeting of love as the twin soul of the living God, the living source. As we sometimes we feel that, and then it's like an explosion of joy and happiness, and then the ego comes back. So eventually we're going to be able to move into this permanent state of sacred union, and to feel the love, the power, and the wisdom that is connected to all life. Because this force of love and light and wisdom that is God is connected, we can be able to touch other people's heart, and they'll be able to accept. All those who are ready and willing to accept it will feel the connection to God through the light body. So for this love of God is beyond human good. It is transcendental, to move from anti-love to true love, to stop projecting on the screen of duality, and not to stop to create the unreal. Also, we have to really train our mind and to judge, to let go of the judgment of the ego mind, and to make the effort to stay in our heart, and to allow our God self to take command, to take charge, and to give us all that we need in order to solve to find the true balance and equilibrium. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I took a few more notes, but I'm going to stop here for now. I'm going to just sing a song to finish. It's a song of Eric Clapton. It's called Wonderful Tonight. It goes like this. It's late in the evening, she's wondering what clothes to wear. She puts on her makeup, she brushes her long blonde hair, and then she asks me, do I look alright? And I say yes, you look wonderful tonight. We go to a party, and everyone turns to see this beautiful lady that's walking around with me. And then she asks me, do you feel alright? And I said yes, I feel wonderful tonight. I feel wonderful because I see love light in your eyes. And I wonder of it all is that you just don't realize how much I love you. It's time to go home now, and I've got a aching head. So I gave her the car keys, she helps me to bed, and then I tell her, as I turn out the light, I said, my darling, you are wonderful tonight. Oh, my darling, you are wonderful tonight. Eric Clapton has been very proactive in against all these plans of mask and vaccination and confinement. He's been making even concerts to try to defend these rights. For a lot of musicians are very conscious being, a lot of for artists in general. But we are gaining in consciousness, and there is a great momentum and great flow towards this. And what the card of the day is the Chariot, the Archangel Metatron, determination and self-control, evolution of career, a public recognition of a success. So all will come into the light, and we're going to find our place into the world. It is really the goer. Gate, 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 parasham, gate, bodhisattva. Gate, 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 parasham, gate, bodhisattva. So it's really the power of the motion forward, self-determination and self-control, peace within. So I leave you in the great light and love of the infinite creator, and I talk to you later. Adonai, my friends.